This is the second of the AlphaCam Express presentations on editing geometry. In this presentation we're going to input a CAD file, use the offset and stretch command to create the 500 by 250 draw front you can see there, and then copy that, repeat it and array it within AlphaCam. Start by creating our draw front external, a rectangle from 500 to 250. We'll then do an offset of 30mm from this geometry, and now I wish that geometry to be a construction geometry, so under edit I'm going to then change from geometry to construction. Click this and that has then converted it. You cannot machine construction, it's just there purely to aid you with creating your drawing. Now a simpler way to do that may have been if I just undo it. I can click on the little binoculars and say find, click on that, it then finds that geometry and the layer operations page, and I can then just drag and drop that into construction. We'll now import the CAD file of the rows, so under file we'll come down to input CAD with two options, a DXF or DWG. I'm going to do DXF. Don't select clear all memory. Let's bring in rows DXF and that drops that down where it's created at 0, 0. I'm now going to use the move command, window around that. I'm going to move it from 0, 0 to the middle of my draw front, which is X 250 and Y 125. Now under edit I'm going to use the stretch command. I want to stretch my rows, not these geometries, so deselect those. A little bounding box comes up. If I click once on that bottom left hand corner rectangle, I can then click F6 and it stretches it to that bottom left hand corner. Click once again, then press F6 for the endpoint of, and that has now stretched that, working within my 30-30 boundary. Next we'll show you how you can copy, repeat, array. So I'm going to delete this original drawing. So under edit the big red cross is delete. Delete those 27 geometries. Then under edit again we now have the option of move, copy, repeat. We've shown you the move. Let's say the copy. What do I want to copy? All. Now I can move about a base point. So I'll say, let's say the base point is 0, 0, or the bottom of there, and I could copy that to the end point of there if I wished. And then maybe to the end point of here and end point of here. We could then use the move command, those two from 0, 0, and we'll move them by 0 in X and 20mm in Y. Same thing again now for these two, from 0, 0, 20mm X and 0 in Y. An easier way to do that, I'll undo this, we'll show you the undo command as well, is I could have said edit, let's repeat. What do I want to repeat? This. The displacement in X, displacement in Y. Well, let's do a displacement in X of 520. Nothing in Y. How many do I want? 2. Spacebar repeats the last command. We'll now say all. From a base point in X, we're not moving anywhere in X. Displacement in Y will then do as 270. A 250 plus 20. How many copies including the original? 2. Another way of doing that, we undo those two, will be to come into edit and select array. What do you want to array that? And it then asks me how many do I want in X. We could say 2. What was the displacement in X? 520. The number in Y is 2. 270. So in summary, we drew a 500 by 250 rectangle. We then used the offset command to create our internal boundary. We showed you how we could use the change to convert that into construction, we input card.dxf file. That dropped it down on the bottom left hand corner, so we use the move to put that in the middle of our panel. We then use the stretch to size it to our 30mm boundary, and then we showed you how to use the copy, repeat and array commands. Thank you for your time.